Hi, I'm back. I'm bringing you guys the ROAPL semifinal series against Monai. By the way, I forget to mention during the recording that we are 0-5 at this point in the series, and so I have to win, or else we are out of the tournament. Yeah, that's very much it. Sorry. Let's continue with the content. Who is a player that I really respect? Like among the players that there are in the black and white pool in this tournament, him and Dice are like the ones that I feel the most intimidated by. And well, the thing with Monai is that he's also he's very unique in his play style and the way he constructs his teams, which are not. It's not to say that he's like extremely wild, but he will always toy with some sets here and there, so you don't really know what he's bringing to the table until you actually end up facing it. So for my preparation this week, okay, I would say it went smoothly. I have to say that I'm actually very happy with my team choices for this week. I mean, the first team that I'm bringing here is a very, 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 very standard team. Though I did make some specific changes to it that could that do much against the stuff that he does bring. I mean, I decided to bring Rotom Wash because I barely bring it. Like, I don't have many replays with Rotom Wash, and I feel that's pretty exploitable. I mean, first game he brings Mamos Wine, so I'm very much able to shut down some of these threats thanks to having a Rotom, which I barely bring. So good on me, but it's still not a good match. I would say it's more so a neutral matchup, especially after having played it. Like, it was anyone's game, I would say. But yeah, I couldn't really tell the sets from the start. I was guessing that this was gonna be a Scarf Rotom. It seemed like if he wanted to have a Scarfer, he would be like the likeliest to have that item. It could be Politoed. It could also be Dragonite. I have seen him bring Scarf Dragonite, so I know it's not beyond him to bring that. But in this team, I would say it's the Rotom, and then this has to be Hurricane because you don't bring. I mean, yeah, this is what you usually have on Dragonite when you are running Rain. As for me, I have some. Well, I would actually reveal some of the sets, but I will actually I will actually shut up about them because maybe I want to bring them in the future. Okay, so here's the first game. Okay, so I'm gonna begin with my Rotom Wash, which is the thing that pretty much matches up well versus most of his team. I think it was a pretty fine lead, but the way he led with Dragonite, like it made me highly suspicious. Like I see a Starmie here. And like in my mind, I was like, is this Specs Dragonite? Is this just gonna Draco Meteor me into the next dimension so that Starmie and Mamos Wine have an easier time against me? Like, that made me genuinely scared. I didn't think that this was gonna be a Dragon Dance set. Like, it was likely just Hurricane set, but I didn't know which. So just in case I decide to go into Ferrothorn, I could go into Lando, but I decided that this was the best thing. If I'm gonna eat anything from this, it has to be a Dragon move. So I just go into Ferrothorn, preventing any sort of Draco Meteor, Specs Draco Meteor shenanigans. And well, he reveals Thunder Wave, and then this already tells me that this is a defensive Dragonite. Likely the Dragontile Hurricane variant, which is really good set, by the way. I really like that. I decide now to go into my especially defensive Landorus, which can tank this Dragonite pretty well. I don't think it has Ice Beam, so I'm pretty fine with that. He goes into Ferrothorn. 5 MMA, I can get my Rocks up immediately. First order of business, and well, I decide that the best course of action here is to just attack this. Here I U-turn because I was pretty sure that and he was not gonna stay in. Like, he doesn't. This is the only steal that he has against a Latios and an Alakazam. Like, if I murk this, then it's very much these two just win the game by themselves. So I go into a U-turn. I get the crit through this calc. I realize that this is an offensive Rotom, so I am 100% sure that this is Scarf. Here, I decide to go into Latios, which now looking back, I don't know if it was the best play to make. I think, knowing that this was Scarf, I should have maybe just gone into my Tyranitar here and just trap this, because you're gonna see how this Rotom ends up ruining my life through the game. Because now what happens now is that I go for the Draco Meteor here and I miss, which fucking sucks. I imagine he stayed thinking that I wasn't what's this called, a Scarf set, but it's pretty clear that I am Scarf. Like, I already revealed that I am a Stealth Rock Landers and I can switch moves, so yeah, I don't know. Freaking sucks, but it is what it is. He goes for the Bolt Switch, he goes into the Ferrothorn, and in here, I was so tempted to go for the Draco Meteor here. I almost clicked it. Like, I probably lost nothing by doing that, but he catches me pretty well, and well, shame, because I would have killed the Starmie there. Now in here I go for the knockoff, because this way I can eliminate the steals, but this is looking very bad for me, because, well, hazards are on my side, and sure, I do have, I mean, these are Spike Immune, but these two aren't, and these are like my defensive backbone against this team as well. So yeah, it's not looking good for me. He goes into Dragonite. I do predict this. I go for the Thunder Wave, predicting the Dragonite to come in, and then I go into my, I go into my Rotom, because I don't really know what this is running. I thought it could be Dragon Tail, and I'm running a Rocky Helmet Rotom, so that would make it take some chip damage. Thankfully I don't get confused. I go into my Landorus, still predicting Dragon Tail. He goes for the Thunder Wave again, and now in here he decides to stay. Lets me, I don't know what he clicked here. I don't think it's Ice Beam. Like, that much I can tell, it's not Ice Beam. And in here, I could have, another regret that I have about this game, I could have gone for the U-turn. Like, I was, yeah, there wasn't really anything wrong with doing that, going for U-turn. I could have maybe gone into my Titar or Alakazam in that turn. It would have been mostly fine, but, well, it is what it is. I predict that the Starmie is gonna just spin. Like, I don't think, even if in Ice Beams, I'm not gonna die, because I'm a fully specially defensive Landorus, unless it specs, in which case I just trap with Titar and then the hazards just stay on and I will win then, like, pretty comfortably. But no, and well, here I make a really stupid play. I predict that this thing is gonna go for the superpower, and I just decide to sacrifice the Landorus, like for no fucking reason. I just decided, yeah, you're gone, you're fired. I could have I think the best play maybe it was to just stay with Ferrothorn and see what set this is, because I am uncertain. I don't really know what this is running, and right now I have all hazards up against you know, the low chance of, you know, winning the weather war, and a Scarf Rotom Wash that speeds and can ball switch on anything, bar, you know, my Latios that outspeeds it, and yeah, it is looking bad for me. In here, Monai makes a really good play. He predicts my HP Fire, and yeah, it's looking like he's playing this game really well, whereas I'm making really poor choices, I have to say. I go into my Tyranitar because it's, you know, I don't want to take, if this is specs, I don't want to take a full-blown hit with Ferrothorn, nor my Rotom Wash, that I have to stay healthy, because I have to keep healthy, because there's a whole ass Mamoswine there, and it's my only ice resist, so In this turn, he reveals to be choice specs. Politoed. I go for the pursuit because, well, I know he's quite well acquainted with Gustav Titar because he is very much a proponent of that set. He loves it. He loves it a lot. And he's not gonna allow Politoed to take a critical hit or anything, and basically diminish the chances of him winning. So he goes into the third turn, and I get to kill it with a superpower now. Yeah, and now I die from the iron barbs. And in here, it's still looking like it's winnable from both sides, because now he doesn't have any dragon resist left. I can just click Draco against everything in this team, and it's going to die. But there's Mamoswine. Mamoswine very much prevents me from, winning successfully. I decide to go into my Alakazam, and I don't know how to express it. I was actually predicting the Dragonite, sorry, the Mamoswine to come in, but he gets me. And now, like, I'm forced into a very awkward position. I decide to stay in because otherwise I'm just gonna be looped into oblivion. If I go further, he goes Dragonite, and he just roosts on me, and yeah, I don't want that. So he ends up sacrificing the Dragonite, and now I go Furthorn. And it's basically now, it's a bunch of 50-50s that each of us has to play. He goes for the Earthquake, and in here I go for my Rotom because I still can survive any one hit. Like if it is banded, it's locked in that, and if it's not, then whatever. I predict the Politoed here. And sadly, I don't kill with the ball switch, which it probably would have been better for me, I guess. I don't know. I go into my Latios, which I believe it was like the best play probably, because if I go Alakazam and kill this, then Rotom just comes in and ball switches on me, which is not ideal. So I guess it was an awkward sequence. I couldn't really tell what was the correct play for me to make. And also the thing that I hate the most is that I'm not running Surf on this fucking Latios. I'm running Ice Beam. I'm running Scarf Ice Beam because my opponent does love to run especially defensive Landorus, and also this team is I can get murked by a well-played Gliscor, so this was like sort of my insurance against it, plus my Landorus. So yeah, I am very much forced to. I go into my Alakazam, and in here, so I find myself in like in a conundrum, because I'm not pretty sure if this is banded or not. There's no damage or sequence throughout the game that leads me to believe that this could be Never Melting Ice, and I could have just gone into my Rotom here and go for the Hydro Pump, and bank everything on hitting a Hydro through an Icicle Crash, or go for the Pain Split as well. Like those two were valid plays. The thing is here, and this is a lesson on timer management, and it's that my timer was really low, and I didn't have the time to calculate whether or not Icicle Crash was going to kill me. I assume it wasn't going to. Like honestly, from head calking, I think it doesn't really kill me. But still, I go into my Latios. I bank everything on this being choice band. And well, sadly it isn't, and I die from the Ice Shard. And now I still can win because this is a fully healthy Mamoswine, and I can just Pain Split it. But my opponent once again does outplay me, and I end up losing the 50-50, and he wins the game. And yeah, I think it's a pretty embarrassing game, but it is good. It's still a good game regardless. I just ran into a really awkward position. I didn't properly scout sets. I let my Landorus die very early, and I couldn't, and my timer was really low in terms that I really needed to think. Like, I think this team had too many, weird sets for me to, like, formulate a plan. The next game that I'm going to show you now, which is game 2, I felt that I could actually play more smoothly. So I decided to bring a rain team now, which is, I have brought rain teams before, but I decided to go with Gyarados Rain, which is a mon that I don't use like almost ever. If I do, it's just in like weird teams with natural gift. I just decided that I wanted to bring, like, this was like the most unorthodox build that I prepared, which is very much a standard team. Like, usually these teams have like Tentacruel and Keldeo over these two, but I decided that I wanted to go like fully offensive. I made this team around the concept of overwhelming my opponents with 4-attack Thunderous and Spec Starmie for my Gyarados to completely decimate them. And honestly, I ran into a really good matchup because he's running Weatherless, so I can just set up my rain from the very first turn, and it's gonna be fine by me. So first turn, he reveals to be freaking Substitute, which, it already, excuse me, and well, he misses the Toxic, which, well, very unfortunate. But yeah, this Keldeo is very much a threat because I don't have a, I don't have a counter switch into it other than my Starmie and Gyarados, which don't want to take either Scald or Toxic from it. So I decide to go for the, what's this called? Yeah, the Encore. And thankfully he missed the first Toxic, because this way he cannot attack me yet. So in this turn, I go into my first. Thankfully, I was about to like Skull or something, but thankfully he didn't go into Heatran yet. So in this turn, he reveals that this is HP Fire, and this is very big. This is big as hell, because the fact that this is HP Fire, that means that my Starmie is always going to be faster than his. I am running Spec Starmie. And a lot of members of his team don't really want to come in on the Starmie's Hydro Bomb. I had 2 clear victims of Starmie for this in this team, and those being Heatran and now his own Starmie, which is lower than mine because he has HP Fire. So this puts me in a good position. In here, I decide to play aggressively. I predict the. It's a sort of mid ground, but not really, because he could have, been cheeky and gone for the electric move here. But I go into my Starmie, predicting either him to go for the HP Fire, or predicting that I will just keep spamming hazards, or go Heatran. And this is the best. This is the best situation that I can get myself with this Starmie, because now my rocks are up. He doesn't have. And he doesn't have any reliable resistances to this. I am a Specs. If he switches into something, the Analytic is gonna trigger, and well, it's just going to evaporate. Like, I can just evaporate something in this turn. He does reveal to be Pasho Berry, but as you can see, this thing just dies 30,000 times over. Like, I am Specs on the rain, a stab. Like, there's no way for him to kill me. And now here he goes into the Scissor, so he goes into Scissor very comfortably, and that reveals to me that this is a Scarf Scissor. But still, I decide to not. I'm not gonna let my Starmie die. I'm fine with I'm fine with him like Pursuit, because if he goes for Pursuit, that just gives it either gives my Thunderous or my Gyarados free opportunities to like set up or go for really strong attacks. So I know he's not gonna go for the Pursuit right away. It would actually put him in a bad position. So in here, well, I decide to just switch out. Once again, I predict that he's not going to go for the electric move on the Starmie, and if anything, he's going to predict me to go into my Ferrothorn, which is like the safer thing to do. And I decide to be aggressive. I want to play my cards right, because I want the best thing for my Starmie in this matchup is to be in front of his own Starmie and start clicking Hydro Pump. And that's what I do. Like I go for the Hydro Pump and I kill. I don't want Latios or Landorus to be coming in on the Thunders. So in here, he goes into his Keldeo, and I just decide to stay in and go for the Power Whip. Though these are a couple of very scary turns, because this Keldeo can, you know, be quite a nuisance. I mean, I do have Starmie, I do have my Gyarados, and I have a defensive Polito with Encore that can sort of screw up Keldeo for a bit. But still, I just don't want to deal with it. Now I decide to go into my Starmie here, because Keldeo now is pretty low, so I'm not very scared of it. He goes for the Skull to, you know, to do some damage and to potentially get a burn. I decide to not be aggressive with this. I don't want to give Keldeo any free turns. So yeah, now I go into my Politoed, because it's very much expendable, and whatever the case, if he goes Keldeo, I'm just like, I kind of like Encore or whatever. Like it's a fine position for me. He goes for the Secret Sword, I go for the Encore, because now this does give me the chance to go to my Monai Slayer 67. My Gyarados, which can just tank this pretty comfortably. Like it does, it does 25, which is just the substitute damage. I go for the substitute because I wasn't sure if he was gonna go into Latios or Landorus. Latios can survive a +1 bounce, but I didn't. So I wasn't really sure. So my plan was that go for shot. If he goes Latios, I just waterfall, and then that will be it. I'll be able to put the Latios on range for my Gyarados to finish it. So but he goes into the Landorus, and I assume that this is going to have Stone Edge, and well, I just go for the waterfall and it doesn't kill. I mean, Landorus tends to run some bulk, even if it is a choice card set, and well, yeah. Now he predicts me. I mean, the game is almost over, honestly, but he's making really aggressive plays in an attempt to bring it back, but it isn't really possible. Once again, he keeps fishing for the substitute, for the Power Whip miss, which thankfully I don't. In this turn, I just decided to go for the Stealth Rock, because this way the Landorus is dead, and also because now I can just like go into my, after this dies, I can just like go into my Starmie and just click Ice Beam. In this way, Keldeo doesn't really get much HP back every time it tries to switch out on a predict. So yeah, I'm fine. I'm completely fine now. Yeah, thankfully, like I don't know if I can consider myself lucky. I hit 6 Power Whips, which well, it's not like a really low move on accuracy anyway, but thankfully I did. If I didn't click and hit any of the Power Whips, it could have turned out to be harder. So in here, just go into my Starmie. I'm just gonna start clicking Ice Beam, and he makes a good read on me. He goes for the Scissor because he knows I'm not gonna click Thunder when there's a whole ass Latios there still. But still, the game is over. I have my Scarf Jirachi there waiting. Go into my Ferrothorn so that this thing takes damage from the Iron Barbs. Once again, the sequence does repeat here again. Yeah, there isn't really much for me to add in this case. Like it's just gonna be a gameplay loop where I just switch out and go into my Starmie and then get the next kill, and it's over. and I win the game. By the way, I don't think I mentioned this, which is very irresponsible of me. At this point in the series, we were 0-5, so I have to win. If I lose the matches, I lose the best of 3, our team is out. So there was a lot of stakes as well going into this game. Yeah, I should have said this at the at the beginning of the video. Maybe I can edit it or something so that I can, you know, give context. Otherwise, yeah, I feel like the viewers will just find out about, you know, the context of this series. And yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that anyway. Okay, so game 3. Game 3, I decided to bring this very standard dice clef team, but I made some small tweaks to it so that it matches well against the Monai stuff. As I said, he's a big proponent of the especially defensive Landers, and you know, I had tested this team against these 5 specifically. The one difference being Rio Nicholas over the Alakazam, and I already knew that I had a good matchup based off of that. It will all depend on the Terrakion sets. But you know, if this was a especially defensive Landers, I was really happy because I was running Ice Beam Latios. It's like Ice Beam Latios and Crunch Hippo for the Starmies and Latioses that he likes to run. So my best mon against this team is definitely my my especially defensive Skarmory. Like, it does so much damage to, I mean, not damage, but I just like punish it. I punish this team pretty badly because there isn't really much to that, you know, wants to. There isn't really much that threatens it other than, well, in this case he was HP Fire Latios, Life for Alakazam, and like this is a Scarf, so I am definitely not really scared. I mean, at the time of the preview I didn't really know the sets, but yeah, I knew that this thing was dangerous. This thing also, because I don't have a Scarfer in this team, I very much rely on, you know, getting the Thunder Waves. So yeah. So I decided to lead with my I lead with my Latios in the hopes that he leads with the freaking Landorus, because he can get rocks against anything on my team other than Alakazam, which people don't usually lead Alakazam. They will usually lead, like, I mean, against this team you probably want to lead like Hippo, like with this team you want to lead Hippo, Skarmory, Clefable. Yeah, but that was not the case. So anyways, I lead with Latios, not a good lead for me. I go into my Hippo here. I could have gone into my Skarmory, but you know, I had to be smart about this matchup. I decided that I had to take, if there's one mon that I have to take the utmost care of, that is my Skarmory. Skarmory is very much my win con in this game. I have to be careful when playing it, because it can threaten this whole team, because there isn't really much to scare it. Like, that's the thing, plain and simple. So yeah, he goes for the Thunder Wave. Thankfully, I catch that and I go for the rocks. Like, another cool thing is that he doesn't have has a removal. So yeah, we're just gonna fill each other with shit until, you know. And now I go into my Clefable. He does make a good predict. Like, he's so good. This guy is very good. He makes really good plays. He reads me so many times, and like, I mean, we have read each other like multiple times. In this turn, I was damning everything because I went for the freaking Thunder Wave here. Yeah, if this was Thunder Wave, the game was over. Like, there was no way for him to win this. But sadly, I have to, you know, put up with that. So in here, I just go into my Jellicent. And I mean, it's a 50-50. Either he goes for the rock move or the fighting move. He just doubles into his Landorus. I assume he was, you know, expecting the Hippodon. So yeah, I didn't really know the set still, but now seeing that this was leftovers, I was already beginning to guess that this was going to be a Scarf Terrakion, unless this is Scarf. But yeah, looking. I mean, I think it looks like a. I don't know. I couldn't tell, but in my heart of hearts, I thought that this was going to be the Scarfer. So, yeah. Latios does come in. I don't want to take a hit from this. I mean, I go into my Clefable here because I just want to scout the set. But by the way he was playing it, I don't think that this is Specs. I think as Specs, Latios just clicks Draco here regardless and tries to do big damage. In here, just go into my Clefable, and thankfully I get this this little fella paralyzed. I decided to spam. I began spamming I start spamming the Thunder Waves because I don't want the Terrakion to come in. And now in here, I just go for the knockoff. Like no more bullshitting around. What's uncomfortable about this matchup is that I have to force Clefable into 1v1ing the Ferrothorn, which is not ideal because if I get like a couple of unfortunate paralyzes or I get crit with a Power Whip, then my Clefable is gone, and then the next best thing for me to be able to deal with this is my Skarmory, which will be forcibly paralyzed, and that does make turn this matchup into hell against Alakazam. So yeah, not good. He misses the Power Whip. He misses the Power Whips that I didn't miss last game. Cool, funny stuff. I go for the Seismic Toss. He gets a little bit chipped. And now here, this is my prime opportunity to just go into my Skarmory. Like as I said, like I just go into my Skarmory. I can just start doing stuff because I mean, what is he gonna do? He has a Burn Latios here, Alakazam. Unless it's Life or HP Fire, it's not going to do anything to me. So he goes hard into Alakazam in here, and well, I just decide to scout what he's going to do. He reveals the Focus Blast, and this damage does tell me that this is a Life Orb Alakazam. I think that it doesn't have HP Fire, which well, it's not good in the sense that this means that I'm always gonna have to go for Speed Ties with my own Alakazam. But still, it's still good regardless because my own Alakazam is a Sash set, which is very good against this team. So long as Tyranitar doesn't trap me. So in here, I just decide to. I'm just going to spam Roost. Like there, I just want to stop. I want to PP stall the Focus Blasts. In here, I decide to make an aggro play, protecting the Terrakion, and he gets me. And well, yeah, I've been. It's so ridiculous. I try so desperately to catch the freaking Terrakion, which is like the one thing that prevents me from fully winning this match with my Skarmory. But well, now I'm forced into soft boiled anyway, so I have to. Yeah, Terrakion is just going to come in. I decide in this turn that if I'm going to sack anything, it's going to have to be my Jellicent. Jellicent doesn't really do much in this match anymore. It's already done its due diligence, which is burning the Latios, and it's not gonna do much against the Ferrothorn unless I manage to get like a few Nightshades in. But regardless, I thought that if Terrakion does come in, it was Jellicent that it was going to go, because Hippowdon is also good. Like Hippowdon can also do some stuff against this team still. As I said, I have Crunch, so I can definitely kill Latios with this. I can kill Alakazam as well. Like I can do damage to this. I mean, not with Crunch, but like Earthquake, and like the rest get walled. So yeah. He goes into, he switches into his Ferrothorn. I go for the recover. This does reveal to me that he is a choice Terrakion. Unlikely, it's a choice Scarf Terrakion, which is it's a set that I love. By the way, I think it's a very good set. Sadly, not in this matchup. Like in this matchup, If it was a banded Terrakion, I would have had a harder time. So I just go into my Clefable, which keeps blocking this freaking Ferrothorn. Poor thing. Now he goes into Terrakion, and do I go for it? Yeah, I go for the Seismic Toss here, which is big as well, because now like this Terrakion is just closer to death. Once again, same mindset. I'm going to go Jellicent on the Terrakion. I'm not gonna sacrifice anything. And given that the Terrakion was now low, I didn't really have. I switched my mindset now, in the sense that I wanted to keep this Clefable, you know, as healthy as possible, so that I could have as many assets against the Alakazam, because now Terrakion wasn't really gonna be a threat. It's a Scarf Terrakion that I can just endlessly wall, so I'm not, you know, scared. I died from the Draco Meteor, which I believe it was like a. If this isn't a specs, then it was, you know, it was fine. I go into my Skarmory because this is a prime opportunity for me to set up my beautiful spikes. And as you can see, like, this team is just the team is just being worn down slowly by the spikes, by the passive damage from the sand, the burn. The only thing that can do any real damage to my Skarmory now is this Alakazam, which the moment that I, you know, do some damage to it, I'm just gonna beat with my own Alakazam anyway. So yeah, the matchup is looking really good. All I have to do to ensure that I win is debilitate this Tyranitar, and then my own Alakazam will just win the match. So yeah, I go for the Whirlwind. Sorry, I skipped that turn. And now here he makes a good play. He predicts my spike. I could have gone for another Whirlwind perhaps, but yeah. And now here I'm forced into a really peculiar situation. I know he's gonna go for the close combat here, and what I decide to do, for me to be the best, you know, course of action. Because if I switch something, I just lose it, because there's spikes and rocks in it. There's spikes and rocks up. And Latios can maybe survive, but it's really low odds. I would need like really low rolls for me to live 2 CCs after rocks, and Hippo just dies from 2 because I'm a especially defensive Hippo. So my best bet here was to go for the Roost and stall the close combats. And that's what I decided to do. The issue here is that he gets a crit, and now it turns into a very scary situation because I have to pray that this doesn't crit again. I mean, I'm still fine. I mean, I'm mostly fine because, as I said, even if I lose the Skarmory, I just go into my Latios, I kill this, or I can just PP stall it as well with my own Latios, and like then Alakazam just like it's almost guaranteed to win the rest of the match. Or like my Hippo can also win, like it's still good, but you know, I would rather not go through that. Like I would rather just PP stall this out. And well, now it has 3, now it has 2, and now it has it's got 1 left. And I decide that in this turn I'm just gonna sacrifice my I don't know if I go for... No, I think I go for Latios, not Clefable. Yeah, I go for Latios. Like, either way, I just go for the... Yeah. And now in here, I just hard switch. I don't really care because I have Cold War. And, you know, it's it's a prime opportunity for me. Monai cannot really do much against this team unless, you know, he gets really lucky with some, you know, some rolls. Or, like, freezes or crits, like... That's what he needs for to be able to take down this team. I just go for the Slack Off. I'm being really greedy. I have to admit that I am being quite greedy when it comes to this. And now I go for the Earthquake. But the cool thing now is that this is gonna be really low next time that it comes in, and so Alakazam will be able to finish the job. I go into my Skarmory. Yeah, the game is very much almost over. Like, I mean, you can see that he has his six alive, but it's very much, you know, the game, the pieces have been set for me to be able to, you know, sweep the whole team. So, because he's only, well, his Scarfer is dead, and Alakazam, unless he wins a speed tie and signal beam confuses me, then it's really hard for him to pull this game. Uh, I go for the whirlwind, and well, it's the freaking Terrakion that comes in. Here I got very lucky. I go for the Brave Bird, but yeah, I prioritized getting some damage on this Alakazam, and then I just let my Skarmory die, and now it's basically I get a crit here, which I mean, it was gonna depend on sets either way. Yeah. Anyways, sorry. I got like blanket here, but either way, yeah, the game is very much over. I win the speed tie, but he had to win the speed tie. Signal beam confused me in order to win, and this is very much it. This is the series. By the time that I'm recording this, we are now 4 and 5. We have to win the next RBY series for us to have a tiebreaker. And if we win the tiebreaker, there's a high chance. It is very likely that I will be playing Monai again, which is a very exciting match, I have to say. But preparing for this guy twice in a row, it's definitely quite daunting. Yeah. Yeah, that's very much it. I hope you enjoyed. This puts me at 6-0. I haven't been defeated once in this tournament. I do admit though that there's the one series that I was about to lose against Dice. I won because of a timely crit. But well, I'm very happy thus far with my results in this tournament. I think I have played and prepared quite well against my opponents. I think, you know, the few years break that I took from this game did me so good, because I think I am approaching the game with much more maturity. I don't lose my mind when I lose. I mean, sometimes I do, but you know, I try not to be too hard on myself. And I definitely enjoyed this series. Like, it was really tense. Like today when I finished playing this, I literally just went for like a really long stroll, because my mind was just like, I mean, we were watching our previous series, which is a DPP game that was very long, and like my mind was fried just watching that, and then we played this and I was like, yeah. But yeah, other than, you know, my first game, I think the first game is not it wasn't really well played. I made some really questionable choices, you know, and maybe this could have ended sooner. Second game, very good. It's really well played on my end, and this one too. And that's it. Thank you for listening to me talking for 42 minutes. Bye bye.